In today's video, I'm going to show you 9 crazy, awesome, cool things that my lawnmower can do that yours probably can't. And not only is this lawnmower going to be super helpful for a lot of people watching this video, but you're also going to be the talk of the neighborhood because I guarantee your neighbors haven't seen anything like this.
And the best thing about it is you don't even have to get up off your chair to use it because it's controlled by a remote control.
That's right, I took laziness to a whole new level. Oh, and did I mention this thing is 4-wheel drive? Yeah, that's right. All right, so later in the video, I'll show you how to set this thing up and the specs and all that good stuff. But what are we looking at? This is the Mowrator remote controlled lawnmower. Now they sent this over for review because we do a lot of different mower reviews. They have no idea what we're saying and I'm not being paid for this review. And being honest with you, I don't care what brand does good or not good on this channel. It makes no difference to me. So there's a 2-wheel drive model that we reviewed last year and still going strong, but today we're looking at the 4-wheel drive model. You can get this in a couple different configurations. You can go with the 12 amp hour or the 18 amp hour, but with the sale that's going on right now, you could just get the 18 amp hour for the same price as the 12 amp hour. And before we start, I just want to let you know that this mower is not for everybody, but there are going to be a lot of people that might think this is really, really helpful for them. All right, let's talk about the build quality first because this is by far the heaviest duty build I have ever felt or seen on a 21-inch lawnmower. It is insane. It's aluminum frame, and I'll tell you, it's like a 4-wheeler. It's built to go off-road. Now, the battery is no joke either. It's pretty large, but you want that for a lawnmower. And they designed this that you can't put the battery in the wrong way, so that's pretty cool. And as far as it goes with charging, they give you a 600-watt supercharger for the 4-wheel drive. This is an all-metal case, probably one of the heaviest duty brick chargers I've ever seen on this channel. And within about an hour and 20 minutes, the battery is completely charged up again, much faster than the 2-wheel drive. And you just plug it into your wall outlet, and then instead of putting this plug in where I'm attaching the lawnmower, you would just plug in the charger and it would go just like that. And there's a lot of different safety things on this. You got to make sure that the lid is absolutely 100% closed or it just won't start up. Now, as mentioned, this is 100% remote controlled power, which is pretty freaking awesome. So let's go over this remote a little bit more and then we'll get to slicing and dicing, to using and abusing. So how to use it is pretty simple. You got a power button, and when this thing comes in, you're gonna have to use a passcode that's already preset, and that's all 0000. Then you can go into the settings and change that to whatever you want, but you're gonna see pairing. I'm not close to the lawnmower right now, but it pairs very, very easily. These right here control the basic forward, backward, right, left. This over here is your emergency stop button. So if you get in any situations, well, you just hit that and it'll shut it down, hit it again, turns it back on. These up here, what's really cool about this is like a smart mower, really. So you just push these and it'll automatically adjust the mower to match the lines that you're cutting. So you cut the line, hit that button right or left, and it will adjust it to cut the other way. You got a smart button here, so if you wanted to control itself basically with the blade speed, or you can go to manual, you just switch the blade speed down here with this setting. This right here is how fast the mower is going to go, so slow, medium, high. And the top mower speed on this mower is 3.4 miles per hour. You also have a cruise control button right here, so you don't even have to use a controller if you don't want to, if you're cutting in long stretches, or like I said, the smart setup. But to start this, you have to push both of these buttons down here. It'll kick the blades on. You're going to hear the remote say starting up, be careful. And you always have to keep one of your fingers on one of those buttons. And then once it starts up, you're just ready to slice and dice. But an FYI, you do have to charge this remote. It uses a C cord, which is pretty cool, but that's one of the downsides about this mower is that the remote does take a while, like 2 to 3 hours to charge fully. All right, let's start this up with the remote. And starts up fine. Now the grass, well, spring, it's higher in some areas than other areas. This area here, well, it's high. It has a lot of dog poop. I tried to clean it up, but unfortunately, I think I hit a couple bombs. Now, one of the main things I love about this mower is that it's able to cut in very wet, or should I say moist, grass. So that's the problem with spring. You get on the rider and you start sinking and leaving those big ruts. This is as heavy as a push mower. So it doesn't sink, but you can see how wet or moist the grass is, and it allows it to cut those wet areas and not have to worry about damaging the yard like a riding mower would. Now with the 4-wheel drive, you also don't have to worry about getting this thing stuck. Again, the incline on this thing, if you're going uphill, well, again, I'll just post the specs right here for you to check out. But how far away will this mower get away from the remote without it working anymore? Well, easily a couple hundred feet. I could be inside the house making myself breakfast, watching the news, and cutting grass at the same freaking time. It's insane how far this mower will get away from that remote without it working anymore. Now the 4-wheel drive on this is also awesome. It'll go through anything you put this thing through. You spin it around, you're going up hills, you're going through mud, you're going over debris, your mulch, whatever, it's gonna handle it. But what about maneuverability? Yes, that's a big word, my friends, but this thing will turn on a dime. So if you wanna get close to the curb, you can. You don't have to worry about this thing falling off. And if it did fall off, you have a tilt sensor. So say this thing just rolled over, look at the 4-wheel drive kicking in. It would shut those blades down because it was sensitive. As far as it goes with getting around things like your flower bed or your mulch areas or gardens or whatever, the 2-wheel drive one did good, but the 4-wheel drive one does even better. This thing turns on a dime. It's really, really impressive with how well it just maneuvers around things and how responsive that remote control is. Now, when I did the previous video on the 2-wheel drive one, I got a lot of comments saying, why would anybody ever need that? And people were just lazy and blah, 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 blah. Setting the coolness aside and feeling like a giant kid while you're using this, you have to keep a couple other people in mind. Number one, handicapped people or people that are unable to physically go out and mow. That's number one. Number two, people that live in hilly areas like Pittsburgh. If you have one of those giant hills that you just don't feel safe cutting or it's just kind of a pain, this would come in very handy. And the other thing is too, dangerous areas. So this thing will cut very high grass. And what likes to be in very high grass? The snake. And trust me, you don't want to step on the snake. And then you think about like bees and stuff, and you know, you go into those areas where, I don't know, you got some hazards you don't want to be around, but you still got to cut the grass. This will allow you to do it. But as far as it goes with the power, battery operated stuff is crazy powerful. Instant torque. You don't have to worry about gas. You don't have to worry about fumes, and it's super quiet. I got the microphone on the 360 camera here very close to this mower, and that's as loud as it gets. I didn't adjust this audio, but if you're sitting on your porch, all you hear is the blade spinning. That's it. So listen to the voice on the remote.
Blade starting. Please ensure safety.
All right, so the blades start up, but another really cool thing that this allows you to do that other mowers don't is it's allowing you to get underneath things without having to bend down and strain your back. So if I wanted to cut underneath my bridge here, my deck, my broken down trampoline in the backyard, I don't have to crawl underneath this thing. I just use my remote control and I cut it. And that, my friends, well, that's real nice-like. Now, again, this is me basically sitting up on my picnic table and not doing much other than using the remote control on this thing, which is pretty freaking awesome. I mean, it really is sort of fun. It's not the fastest cutting mower. I mean, it's like cutting with a push mower. Again, 3.4 miles per hour, and you get almost an acre on this full charge. But you really got to remember, it depends on the conditions that you're cutting in. Are they wet, moist? Are they tall, thick grass blades? Have you already mowed once and you don't need much more than a trim? That's what's going to determine how long this thing is going to last. But I will tell you that I can cut half an acre, no issue on a full charge, even if the grass is pretty heavy and thick. Now, there is one thing you definitely need to know about this mower, and that is the further away you are from it, the harder it is to cut the grass with it. So line of sight, right? Even if I can get 100 or 200 feet away from this mower with my remote, I might not be able to see what I'm cutting as good as I should. And I'm not worried about hitting anything because we'll talk about the sensors on here, but you might leave patches and not get the straightest cut, if you know what I'm saying. The one thing I was really concerned about, because this was like a zero turn, was cutting up the grass or just leaving chunks when I turned it, and it really didn't do that. You can see I'm sort of doing the crazy figure eights over here, whatever. And even though the grass is moist, I'm not tearing this thing up. It works very, very well, and it does not get stuck. This thing is really, really cool. Now, as far as it goes with cut quality, it does really, really good for only having one blade. But if you wanted to buy a general purpose blade, anything will fit this. You just go to your local hardware store and pick one up. You can throw it on. It doesn't have to be a special blade. You can put a mulching blade on this as well if you wanted to. So this is the blade that it comes with. And you also have a mulching plug and a bagger that comes with this mower. And both of these accessories are very easy to take off and put back on. So you can see I pulled the mulching plug out, and I'm just throwing my bag on right now. And yeah, it's easy peasy. Breezy, my friend. And on top of that, yes, you can clean the underneath out with the hose. Now, it takes an attachment. It doesn't come with the attachment, which is kind of a bummer for the price of this mower. You would think that you would get that, but you don't. You can go to your local Home Depot, Lowe's, or hardware store, pick one up for a couple bucks, and basically attach it to this mower. So it's a one size fits all, and it works just fine. So let's talk about a couple other things that your mower can't do that mine can. I'm gonna put my life on the line, my friends. Here we go, stare down. You see, this thing comes with a bunch of different safety features. It got emergency stops all over it. You just hit it, it'll shut it down. But it also comes with sensors on the front and the back and the side. There's sensors all over this thing. You see that giant push bar in the front? If you hit anything, it automatically shuts down the mower. But it also senses that you might be too close to something. But I want to see how well it works. So it's me versus mower. Me versus machine. That's right, I'm going to try to run myself over with the lawnmower. And if that doesn't deserve a smeesh on this like button, well, I don't know what does. Yeah, a little anticlimactic, I get it. But no matter what I do, with all the sensors turned on, I can't get this thing to run into myself or anything else. So if you have pets, that's a pretty good thing. Now here's a couple more views for you. There's the head on. And I wasn't scared at all. Not even one little bit. And here's the 360 video. So you get the first person trying to run me over with the lawnmower. No matter what I do, it will not hit me. And again, this is for anything. It's not just people. It got sensors going the whole way around this thing. So as much as I'm trying to hit myself, I cannot hit myself with this lawnmower. But you can shut all of this off. So if you do need to get close to something, it's adjustable on the remote. You just go to adjustments, settings. And another really cool thing that this can do that yours probably can't is it has an automatic dump to it. Now you would have to buy the accessory for that, but right on the remote control, you would just hit a button and the Mowrator bag will literally dump itself. It's truly a hands-off. And just for some that's gonna say, well, your grass wasn't that high, the grass is pretty high. This thing is really powerful and it'll cut through everything. Now that being said, is this something that everybody should have or needs to have? No, this is a want, not a need. Unless you're somebody that just has really steep hills and don't want to climb those hills or worry about tip over when it comes. By the way, this has a tip over sensor, so if it does tip over, it'll shut down. So many safety features on this mower. But if you don't feel like cutting steep hills, or if you have some issues, maybe you're elderly, maybe you can't get out and cut the grass, or you don't have anybody to help you, and you have a couple extra bucks and this might work for you, or you're handicapped, whatever. This could be a solution for a lot of different people. Like I said, safety-wise alone, if you're dealing with the snack, or if you're dealing with bees or whatever you're dealing with, you just don't want to be in that area while you need to cut the grass. This could be a really good solution. This thing is built crazy, crazy strong. The one thing you do have to adjust manually is the deck cutting height, and it'll go from 1.5 inches up to 4.3 inches. So super easy to do. You just lift the lever and it's all in one. Again, 75% steep slope, it's nuts. All-wheel drive, 1,000 watt powertrain. You got 6 foot-pounds of cutting torque on this thing. Tons of safety options on this that you can control with the remote. You can turn them on, turn them off, the 360 degrees. It's a really cool freaking mower. So let me say one more thing before I wrap this video up. This is not one of those mowers that go to the charging dock, even though I believe they're working on one. This doesn't have like the little razor blades on the bottom and takes 3 days to cut your grass. No, this is a full-size 21-inch lawnmower with a full-size blade underneath it. The only difference between this and the gas is that this runs off a battery and has a freaking remote control. I mean, the sound level is only like 63 dB. The one thing I really do wish they would have added is a camera somehow on this, because once you do get further away, it's hard to see. But other than that, this thing is a beast. It's built like a tank and it's funner than heck to use. Sometimes the novelty wears off, you know, if you're cutting multiple times a week, but it's still fun, and I always enjoy using these mowers. So let me know what you think in that sweet comment section below. Is this for you? Is this something that would help you out? Or is it just a novelty that, well, you wouldn't spend any money on? I also got another video for you right here I think you're really going to appreciate. And if you like this video, get subscribed, hit the bell notification, because we always have new content coming out every week.